But I have a question. I'm sorry for kind of interjecting here, but I'm so curious. Whatever happened to the CIA declassification of the JFK documents that Donald Trump wanted to release? Said I can't control myself. I'm sorry, Tim. I know we were on a specific segment, but I'm like, I need to know what was going on here, because Donald Trump's like, I need to release this. We're releasing it to the people. The people demand to know, and we're going to give the people what they want. We're going to give them the information unredacted from the JFK documents. And then the CIA came in and said, no, not so quick there, Trump, and then kind of made Trump stop his larger seeking of the truth with the JFK assassination.
You're probably not going to like my answer on this, but basically, I think under the Trump administration, he did put out some more of the JFK documents. What he didn't put out, which I've reviewed, I think what's out there is what you need to know.
Are you saying without revealing any classified information, people would be disappointed?
Well, it's true, because the government sometimes classifies stuff that doesn't even need to be classified. So there's that as well. It's a misdirection. It's about confusing people.
Yeah, every time people are always, the sexiness of classified information. 60% of classified information that I've read or produced in my career, I'm like, why is this classified?
Yeah, usually a lot of it is in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
But I still don't think we know the larger truth about JFK personally. That's just my own personal perspective and my own personal opinion. But I was dying to know, like, why did Trump back down? Because he did lose that one publicly in the public eye. Because he was like, I'm going to do this. I guarantee this to the American people. CIA said nope. And Donald Trump was like, okay. And that was the story. Yeah. And that was the story showing me, like, okay, what's really happening here? There must be some kind of power structure that Donald Trump can't break.
It can be something completely unrelated that you don't realize, like something in a report overlaps with a report related to Cuba. So they're just like, we don't want to get that one out there because people could infer from this.
This was in the 50s. Like this, we're talking about decades ago. Is there any? I mean, other than implicating maybe the Bushes, but like we're talking. What implications would there be from the 50s?
Let me just give you an example of generally speaking, having run some of these investigations, the FBI almost never closes some of its biggest investigations. Some of them are 70 years old.
Yeah,
it's an ongoing investigation. The reason you keep it open is because it allows you more wiggle room to work in the future. In the now and in the future. And so, like Tim was saying, like 70 years later, like what does A have to do with Z from back then? Nothing. But it's just connected to the same investigation.
There could be one person involved in multiple operations and
still ongoing.
Yes.
Right now from the
I'm not
maybe.
I'm just saying
I'm not saying you're not true, but I'm saying the possibility of that is very unlikely. You could be right, but who knows?
So you're saying that the
I'll make you a deal. If President Trump wins in 2024, we'll make you a special government employee. You'll tell him.
I would.
You'll review the documents and you'll make the call. We'll make
I would love.
Are you going to work with Trump in 2024?
He goes in, I go in.
That is a verbal contract. That is legally bound by the laws of the internet.
If Adam Schiff and China are listening, that was a joke.
Just a joke.
So one of the funniest things is when we all got sick. The therapy we got, I guess it was also like 200 members of Congress got the same treatment.
200.
The funny thing about this, we get sick. I call the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Take the stuff," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "I got people who are sick," and they're like, "We think everybody should get the therapy, the monoclonal antibodies." And then I guess Joe mentioned on his show. Is this true that like 200 members of Congress got a similar
and
treatment?
Their family members
and their family members?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really funny when I was like, "Hey, Luke, isn't it funny that you are getting the same treatment as the Illuminati?"
It kind of caught me off guard there. But I did have a doctor's prescription for ivermectin, but that's another story. I shared a lot of those stories on my own channel and on my own perspectives. But
what am I supposed to do when the doctor says, I want you to take this? I actually said no to the doctor at first, and they were like, you have to. And I'm like, okay, do I take Don Lemon's word for it, or do I,
God.
Joe Rogan.
Well, you don't have to do anything.
The COVID origins, the whole mandate, all that stuff is just, unfortunately, again, turned into political football, political theater, rather than what happened? Where did it come from? We have really good intel on COVID origins, right? Again, I was back at Odie and I running the IC, and part of our job is to brief the president, presidential daily briefing. We take the most sensitive intelligence, we walk into the Oval, and we say, hey, Mr. President, X, Y, and Z. He makes a decision with his cabinet. He decided based on those briefings, we're going to shut down travel from China. He's a racist. Fast forward, turns out the whole world issued travel shutdowns, and they're still ongoing. So,
only just recently did the Canadian border and the UK to the US
Right.
and the EU.
And
like,
so
go ahead.
this is just another example of the media carrying the water, leaking false information from the deep state and the government to perpetuate a fraud or just make Donald Trump look bad. And I got to say this is sort of related, but not really. But I promised the brothers that I serve with that I would say this. So the vaccine mandate. Here's the thing that ticks me off the most. OK, we did the Afghan withdrawal. We did it the right way. Biden comes in and wrecks the thing. Right. 13 service members die, bringing them back. But we fly 125,000 refugees back here. Don't vet them. Nobody gets a COVID test. Nobody gets a COVID mandate vaccine. Southern border, illegal immigrants getting stopped at the border, being allowed to come in. None of them are tested for COVID or given a COVID vaccine mandate. But my brothers in the special forces community have to decide about taking a COVID vaccine mandate or taking a knee for America. And that, I think, is the worst crime that's being committed right now.
Especially with people who can't take it, and doctors are
Yeah,
saying not
there's a
to
reason.
take it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, a professional football player, was talking about how he has allergies that prevents him from taking this.
And that's on the CDC's
Yeah.
website. This is the crazy thing. The website says, here's the ingredients. You can read them for yourself. If you have allergies to them, you should not take this vaccine. And Aaron Rodgers was like, oh, yeah, 2 of those ingredients I have an allergy to.
Yeah. NBC News released a great article, surprisingly. I'm surprised that I can't believe I'm saying this myself, about the monocular antibody treatment, showing how it lasts over 8 months and has gives people a lot of protection and prevents a lot of serious cases from developing. The NBA ruled, if you're in the NBA, you took the Johnson & Johnson shot, 2 months after taking it, you need another booster shot. Pfizer, Moderna, you need it every 6 months to be compliant with their vaccine passports, which, of course, they're implementing in professional sports. But they already implemented in Israel. People have been forced to take a third invasive medical procedure to be compliant with being able to live in a society. I mean, that's just absolutely
Here's the scary
absurd
thing
and
about
crazy.
all of it, right? I'll give you we created the COVID vaccines in like 7 months. Polio vaccines took 7 years.
Warp speed.
7 years, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have done it, right? It should be an option for those who want to take it. But here's the other thing. We don't know the long-term effects of this at all.
Yeah.
Nobody's been tested beyond a year and a half. Nobody knows what's going to happen to your body in 5
again,
years.
this is in the FDA insert on the community vaccine. It says long-term trials are currently underway. So you got to be careful because YouTube's like, they come after you if you say basic facts. Like Crowder's gotten hit on YouTube several times for just citing the CDC. But you know what? What am I supposed to do? Not say these things? Like it's the truth. The FDA literally said it.
But the problem that Americans are now facing or have been facing is because thanks to the likes of Fauci and everything, they don't know what to trust. They don't know if I can trust the NIH. They don't know if I can trust the CDC or the FDA because every time this guy goes to the podium and says one thing, in another month he's saying the exact opposite.
Why didn't Trump fire Fauci?
Man. I mean, I wish he had fired a lot of other people, but I throw Fauci in there too.
Who's top on your list? Like
Milley?
Milley is definitely up there. Back in the Comey, we got rid of him, so that was good. But Rod Rosenstein, oh man, Gina Haspel, Paul Nakasone at NSA. I mean, the whole there was just a big crew of people that just didn't.
Yeah, Gina Haspel has. I mean, oh my! I mean, there's so many stories that are absolutely crazy about her.
Yeah.
I can't even say like what she's accused of.
Can I tell you what the former director of the CIA was doing when Russiagate broke on British shores? With Christopher Steele secretly meeting with all the people in England? Gina Haspel was leading up our intelligence apparatus in the Kingdom United.
Wow.
Huh. So she would know more than anyone else.
Think.
She would be
but
the
no one got to question
that had
her.
the eyes to understand this entire situation and make the right shots, make the right calls for it. And nope. I mean,
so bigger than Watergate.
Oh yeah,
100%. But the Watergate broke. The Watergate, the media was able to actually have humility.
There was indictments.
They were able to look at themselves and be like, "Hey, we lied. This wasn't true. This is the actual truth here, based on the documents."
But back then, you still had a media. The political operatives learned we got to control the media before we pull something like this off again.
Well, you guys are the pros. What do you think? Do you think we get to a position where the media not all of it, most of it issues a correction or a course?
No way. So look, here's what's happening with the media. Brian Stelter, for instance. You think he's going to report on any of this stuff? No, he's not. Of course he's not.
Is he the guy that doesn't wear shorts on TV, or is that somebody else?
That's him. There's a photo of him showing his full view with short shorts.
these are
By the way,
companies that
we're
know.
not doing that. We're all close.
No, we're all
Yeah, we
fully
are all
clothed,
close.
Yeah.
These are companies that know their ratings are in the gutter. And they know that if they were actually going to do news, they'd have to report the truth now. But then they would lose money. So it's a crazy thing when you build your... I'll put it this way. Obviously, you know, we have our perspective, but I think our perspective here is really based on news reports that we can verify to the best of our abilities. That means I do use CNN very often. I got like CNN articles pulled up right now. We didn't use them, but when I can verify it, I want to use those sources.
100%.
The problem with a lot of these sources, CNN.com is actually not that bad. FoxNews.com is pretty good. Their cable pundits are where you'll get the opinion stuff and the stuff that's kind of broken. Fox News, Tucker Carlson does a good job. Not a big fan of Ingram and Hannity, but they're all right. MSNBC is complete trash. CNN is complete trash. And they've built their business around Trump sucks, right?
Yeah.
So they cannot come out and say good things about Trump ever for any reason.
All right.
Because when you dedicate your entire lineup to this is why Trump is bad, here's what happens. CNN used to have regular viewers. I used to have CNN running 24/7 while I'm working. This is legit until I think it was like three or 4 years ago. When all of a sudden I realized that they stopped talking about news and were only talking about Trump, I turned it off and put on Fox because Fox was talking about Hong Kong and Iran and stuff like that. I left. CNN knows I left. They know other moderate individuals like me who want the news left. They know their only viewers now are the fervent cult members. If they now try and course correct, they'll lose everyone because they're not getting me back. So they decide to stay the course. We built up this show for the most part on kind of pissing off everybody.
You seem to be doing okay.
But it's because I think most people who watch this show, like, they disagree with me all the time and tell me I'm wrong. But it's like, as we're trying our best to be factual and consistent and honest about what's going on. So hardcore Trump supporters are mad at me. Obviously, Antifa people don't like me. The Trump supporters got really mad at me because right after the election, I said Trump lost. And the left is now claiming that I've claimed Trump won when I never did. And the right's mad at me, or I shouldn't say the right, but like Trump supporters, like his hardcore advocates, are mad at me for saying he did lose. It's like a weird space to be in. But I feel like as long as we just try and pull up the facts and fact check them to the best of our abilities, then the people who are going to watch are those who actually care about being right and not political tribalism.
Truth.
CNN, however, is trapped. You know, so we're at a point where I can come out and say, hey, you know that thing right-wing person said? That's wrong. And they'll be like, well, you know, that's Tim. CNN, if they come out and say we were wrong about Trump, they'll get roasted. They'll get annihilated. So they're trapped forever.
No more viewership.
Yep. That's it. That's where they are forever.
That's terrible.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.